Yale psychiatrist Dr. Amanda Calhoun says that LGBTQ plus people are not obligated to spend time with family members who voted for Donald Trump. Speaking with MSNBC's Reid, Calhoun addressed the upcoming holidays amidst MAGA's anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. She emphasized setting boundaries, saying it's fine to say, quote, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me, end quote. Calhoun urged protecting both children and adults from harmful family dynamics, regardless of traditions. Watch this.
There is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually talk to, adults as well as advising parents for children. I mean, I think, I don't think that you should force children. I don't think you should force adults to be around people just because they're your family. I think there's a level of, need to establish boundaries. And if you feel like you need to establish boundaries with people, whether they're your family or not, I think you should very much be entitled to do so. And I think it may be essential for your mental health.
Psychiatrist Calhoun tells us to ditch our Trump voting family. What are we all talking about? We were just talking about
this, but I agree. Listen, I agree and I don't. You know, at the same time, I think voicing your opinion to the family members who may have voted against your livelihood is healthy. I think that's
and important.
You should do that.
And
of
important.
Course.
Maybe it's too soon right now.
Right. But I agree with setting boundaries.
Yes.
And I also agree that if you are the type of person that it's going to maybe raise a certain level of anxiety, or you're just going to be completely uncomfortable with the decisions that these people, these family members of yours have made, then you need to absolutely do what's best for you. Yeah. We are all not going to feel the same way about this, and it's not meant to be this one thing.
It's not this or this.
But it is, they did vote against our livelihood. That we cannot change. Yeah. You cannot take that away from us because it's true. How you as a queer person at home listening, watching us right now, how you decide to proceed and deal with that, that is on you. And I don't believe anyone should be telling anyone how they should react. Yeah. That's my main point.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. I get it. And if any of you out there have tried to fight with a Trumper, you know that there's a cognitive dissonance. There's nothing that you can tell them that'll make that'll penetrate.
Yeah, right.
So who at the end of the day, who's going to be sad and upset? You. You're the one. They have a way of still being happy about it. It's weird, right? Like, for Thanksgiving, like Teresa has a very small family, right? And her mom is 80 plus years old. Like, we're not going to not go because of her views. We can't do that. We don't have that much time with her.
But your wife will absolutely set a boundary, even with her.
Exactly. With her brother, and her mother, we will say a boundary. We'll say, what, we're going to have a great family time. Let's not talk about this time.
That's right.
And that right there saves everybody involved.
That's what we do at my grandmother's house. She says, I love everyone here. And for the next 2-3 hours that everyone's under my roof, we're not going to talk about this. And that's it.
That's it. And that's not being disrespectful to us or your community or your values or how you voted. It's just, we're just a little smarter than they are, okay? And we just need to just not make the situation worse. Because like I said, the only one that's going to be isolated and hurt is going to be you.
And I think that you made a really good point. I think that, and I say this not as an attack to our community, because listen, Wilton Manors and Miami, where we are here, this, from Miami to Wilton, it's a small community. It looks bigger on paper, but it's really, really tiny. And sometimes this community has a way of making you feel really wrong about your decisions just because they all don't see eye to eye, and it's like, I understand that we live in a certain age demographic too, in Wilton Manors especially, right? So the men who are of a certain age in Wilton Manors and who have been here for 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, men and women, have fought so much harder than we have, so it's like, there's gonna be a little bit of that jadedness that just comes along with it because they've done so much for people like me to walk, you know? And I get that too. But I don't love when I see our community against one another. I don't love when the hate is coming from within.
From within.
You know, everyone is a really tough critic on each other in the queer community. And